Kobe Bryant wasn't just a basketball player.
And I was just like, dude is different.
He was savage at this shit.
He scored 63 points on me in 3 quarters.
He was someone whose presence altered the atmosphere the moment he stepped into a room or onto a court.
His eyes he was so intense.
Yeah, no, there's no scouting report for Kobe Bryant.
When he walked into an arena, teammates could sense his focus. Opponents could feel the tension in the air. And even fans from the farthest rows could feel the weight of expectation he carried.
Those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream. That's the dream.
There was something about the way he moved, the way he prepared, the way he looked at a basket or a defender that communicated a level of seriousness almost foreign to most athletes. One of the reasons Kobe was so feared by opponents was not merely his skill or his athleticism, but his mindset.
Kobe Bryant gives the Lakers the lead.
Players could prepare for his footwork. They could watch his highlights. They could study his tendencies. But none of it could fully account for the mental edge he brought to each possession.
I feel like I studied his footwork game because I respected his. I think he's top 2 of all time.
One of the hardest workers the game's ever seen, one of the greatest players the game's ever seen.
He had a way of imposing himself on the rhythm of the game, a kind of pressure that wasn't just physical, but psychological.
I really want to learn this, man. I really want to learn it because of you. And when he said that, that took something out of me and took something in my heart that a kid with his ability and knowing where he was going wants to really learn, and he doesn't have an ego.
Opposing defenders could feel that he expected perfection from himself and from them. When Kobe took the court, he didn't just want to score. He wanted to make you earn every step you took, every pass you made, every shot attempt. The combination of unpredictability and extreme preparation made him nearly impossible to guard.
Kobe Island is when you're guarding Kobe Bryant, you turn around and you got no help side defense. You're on an island.
Yeah,
it's a lonely place to be.
Definitely
This cat, and I didn't know how to guard like I would later on. He scored 63 points on me in 3 quarters. I mean, the Lakers, they were good. They were beating us so bad that he didn't even play the 4th quarter. He for sure would have had 80, for sure. Without a doubt.
You never knew which version of Kobe would appear in any given game. The calculated scorer, the improvising artist, the tenacious lockdown defender, or all 3. That unpredictability was amplified by his supreme confidence, which was not arrogance for show, but the product of painstaking preparation.
And I made a promise to myself from that day that I was going to work that hard every single day so that when I do retire, I have no regrets.
He had rehearsed, studied, and practiced every possibility so thoroughly that he could adapt mid-play, improvise when the plan faltered, and make almost every situation work to his advantage.
O'Neal dishing off for Kobe Bryant. Oh, what a dunk!
This is why defenders feared him. They weren't just facing a man. They were facing a machine of obsession and strategy.
Or I always pictured this nigga being like
So much better than you.
yeah, like godly to where I couldn't guard him, to where it's like now it's shocking me or some shit. But I'm like, I just expected much more of a headache dealing with Kobe Bryant. And I'm sorry for thinking that.
One that thrived on high-pressure environments and forced others to rise or collapse under its weight.
The double team again and scores.
He's drawn upon Tebow the way he's living his life, is the way he wants to live his. Here's Bryant off the board to himself, back to Powell, scores!
Why I wasn't guarding him every time, like he was getting open, he was causing switches, he was setting back screens. He wouldn't stay still. He kept picking spots.
Kobe's work ethic was legendary, and it wasn't just about showing up early or staying late. It was about obsessively focusing on improvement, minute detail, and relentless repetition, even in the most invisible, mundane moments.
What was the genesis for me? Who inspired me to get to this point? You know, when I face adversity and I look at it as a challenge or an opportunity, where did that come from? You know, who did I learn that from?
If your job is to try to be the best basketball player you can be, right? To do that, you have to practice, you have to train, right? You want to train as much as you can, as often as you can. If I start earlier, I can train more hours. And I know the other guys aren't doing it because I know what their training schedule is. If I do this consistently over time, the gap's just going to widen and widen and widen and widen and widen, and they won't be able to get that back. So to me, it was just common sense and like thinking, how can I get an advantage? Oh, start early.
One famous story from his Olympic preparation demonstrates this perfectly. The night before the first full practice, he asked his trainer to join him on a 40-mile bike ride that ended at 2:30 a.m., only to appear at the gym first thing in the morning for the workout session. He refused to let physical fatigue or conventional limits interfere with his preparation.
Kobe Bryant was not interested in winning championships. He was obsessed. And obsession comes in the small details that nobody pays attention to.
In another story, he noticed during practice that the rim on the court was slightly lower than regulation, a mere quarter-inch difference. Most people wouldn't notice. Kobe not only noticed, he insisted on having it adjusted because even the smallest imperfection could affect performance.
There was one time there was a game where Kobe was, before the game, he was shooting free throws and he was like, something isn't right. So he called one of the maintenance guys over. He goes, "Are you sure this basket is right?" And the guy said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, I want you to check it for you." He measured it. It was 1/8 of an inch off. When you're that obsessed, when you pay that much attention to the details.
These examples aren't just anecdotes. They're evidence of a mindset that elevated his game beyond natural talent. While most players might rely on physical ability or instinct, Kobe relied on obsessive refinement. Every shot, every move, every defensive position was honed to near perfection, and he demanded that the environment around him, even the equipment, meet the same standard. That uncompromising pursuit of excellence is a key component of his aura, the invisible energy that made people respect him, fear him, and study him for years.
For me, just Kobe was just a certified maniac killer. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about serial killer. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about, want to eat your heart. That's who he was every night. I'm taking everything personal every night. You know what I mean? And his work ethic and everything about him, man, like as a basketball player, he was just, he's the real, him and Mike are the real definitions of killer.
What made Kobe's aura so compelling was that it was a combination of fearlessness and adaptability. Opponents didn't just fear his talent, they feared his ability to find solutions in any circumstance. After tearing his rotator cuff, he adapted by shooting with his left hand in a game and still managed to score effectively, demonstrating a level of resourcefulness and resilience few could match.
Straight up, like, nigga, I'm better than you, and really stood on it. And if you look at every goal or every record that Mike Jordan has had, Kobe chased it. Mike used to talk that shit about the 69 and you can't do this and that. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man. Go do the science. All you young cats that love Kobe, go do all the work. Go do all the research and science about Kobe, yo.
Even in extreme adversity, Kobe refused to let physical limitations define him. This kind of mental toughness became part of his legend. Fans remember his 81-point game, his 5 championships, and his clutch shots. But players who faced him understood the grueling mental and physical preparation that underpinned every one of those moments.
He was almost like MJ on steroids. When I tell you, he watched every film when he was over in Italy on MJ. I'm not kidding you. He had the footwork down to a pack, down everything, but he put his little flair into it.
It wasn't luck or natural ability. It was deliberate, exhaustive effort and a willpower that could bend circumstance to his favor. That is what made him feared. He made opponents feel as if losing to him was inevitable, not just because of skill, but because of his unstoppable determination and constant readiness.
For me, Kobe has never been out of the best basketball player of all time debate. I had guarded. In my 15 years of playing basketball, Kobe Bryant was the best basketball player in the National Basketball Association, without question.
Damn, man. Kobe's aura extended beyond the court. He became a global icon, not just because of his accomplishments, but because of how he communicated his mindset and philosophy. Through interviews, books, and social media, he shared lessons from his career, his preparation, and his Mamba mentality. The philosophy of relentlessly improving oneself and embracing challenges without excuses.
You wanted to be like Kobe? It was just something about him. You know, from the first time I saw him play, You know, the things that he did on the court, it was like art to me. You know, like he played basketball different than everybody else. And I was like, that's who I want to be like.
Kobe once explained that Mamba mentality is about focusing on the process and trusting in the hard work when it matters most, about being the best version of yourself at every moment. This philosophy resonated with people worldwide because it wasn't confined to basketball. Students, entrepreneurs, athletes in other sports, and fans across cultures could see themselves in it.
I didn't have a strategy for Kobe. Like, I didn't know what to do. And so sometimes, man, like I would just, he'd go up and shot, I would just hit his arm. Like just hit his arm and just like, you know. And the problem too was I couldn't go back at him. Because at my role, you know, in Phoenix, Nash had the ball in his hand, so I'm stuck in the corner. And I'm not, you know, I'm not a spot-up shooter. So he was hard to defend. But in that moment, man, like a couple times I guessed right. Like I'm like he's gonna go right, he's gonna shot fake.
Kobe's words were effective because they were grounded in his actions. When he spoke of discipline, fans and peers knew he had spent thousands of hours perfecting every detail of his craft. That integrity made him a model for excellence beyond sports. He became more than a player. He became a symbol of commitment, perseverance, and the pursuit of mastery in any field. The respect Kobe commanded from his peers was earned through relentless work and accountability.
Maybe Kobe Bryant, love you Kobe, the black mom boy. Hey Kobe, text me something, man, I'll text you back something witty. Yeah, let's develop some inside jokes. I wanna know you, man, wanna make you smile, wanna be your sunshine.
He held himself to a standard higher than almost anyone else, and he expected others to hold themselves to it as well. While early in his career, some teammates felt alienated by his intensity. Those who stuck with him recognized that his toughness wasn't born from ego, but from a desire to elevate everyone around him.
Well, he might be only 18 years and 5 months old, but this guy can do everything that the veterans can do and do it better, perhaps. Kobe Bryant, last night you get your first start as a pro. How'd it feel?
I felt good. I felt good, you know, going out, you know, for the starting lineup. You know, I tried to keep a straight face and keep a serious look, but, you know, I couldn't help but cracking a little smile.
Do you get a little feel of palpitation?
Sure, because, I mean, you're so excited to get out there at the beginning of the game. You know, I haven't done that since high school.
Right.
You know, so I naturally get excited.
Speaking of high school, how big was the gym you played in Marion? How many people?
About 500 people.
500?
About 500 people.
His peers respected him because he backed up his words with action. He wasn't a player who demanded respect. He earned it every day through preparation, relentless effort, and unwavering focus. Stories from teammates and opponents repeatedly illustrate this. They saw him arrive before anyone else, leave after everyone else, and continue refining skills even in private hours. That kind of discipline created an environment in which mediocrity couldn't survive, and excellence became the standard. Peers respected him, not only for the results, but for the consistency of effort behind them. Kobe's fearlessness in competition was another reason for the aura he carried. He would challenge opponents directly, premeditating what he intended to do and almost always delivering. For instance, after being held to 17 points in a game, he told an opponent before their next matchup, "Tell Andre Iguodala 50 tonight." He finished the game with 48. This blend of confidence and preparation communicated a profound message to the league. He knew his abilities and he would impose them, and opponents could feel the inevitability of his impact. That level of self-belief and willingness to challenge others was rare, and it created a presence that extended past physical play. Kobe's aura also stemmed from his approach to legacy and mentorship. He understood the influence of his example and the impact of his philosophy on future generations. After retiring, he didn't disappear into obscurity. He became a mentor, an author, a filmmaker, and a teacher. His short film, Dear Basketball, won an Academy Award. He shared his methods, mindset, and experiences to help others cultivate their own potential. This ability to translate his knowledge into something tangible for others amplified his global influence. People didn't just admire Kobe, they tried to emulate the standards he set, the intensity he brought, and the mindset he embodied. Kobe's global reach was amplified by his story and relatability. He spent part of his childhood in Italy, learning a second language and absorbing different cultures. This early exposure gave him a comfort and fluency in cross-cultural environments that few American athletes achieve. He could connect with fans around the world, not only through his achievements, but through shared values of discipline, determination, and passion. His story was universal. A young athlete committed to relentless improvement, overcoming obstacles, and striving for greatness at every stage. The aura he carried resonated globally because people saw themselves in the principles he lived, even if they couldn't replicate the scale of his accomplishments. Kobe's presence became a model for anyone looking to push boundaries in any field. Beyond his work ethic and competitive dominance, Kobe's aura was reinforced by his willingness to refine every detail of his game. He studied opponents meticulously, understood the nuances of footwork, spacing, and timing, and prepared in ways that made his play unpredictable. He once noticed a barely perceptible difference in a rim's height during practice and had it corrected. Such obsessive attention to detail, often invisible to fans, created an almost supernatural consistency on the court. Teammates saw it, opponents felt it, and it became part of what made him a legend. Kobe's ability to inspire came from his combination of intensity and accessibility. While he maintained an almost untouchable level of skill and competitiveness, he also shared insights, stories, and lessons openly. Through interviews, books, and camps, he communicated his philosophy to the world. His quotes, such as, "The most important thing is to try and inspire people so that they can be great at whatever they want to do," and "I'll do whatever it takes to win games," whether it's sitting on a bench waving a towel, handing a cup of water to a teammate, or hitting the game-winning shot, demonstrate how his mindset was practical, grounded, and deeply human. People admired his skill, but they connected with his principles. His aura wasn't just intimidation, it was inspiration. What also made Kobe revered among peers, fans, and aspiring athletes wasn't just what he did on the court, but how he did it. He was disciplined, intelligent, strategic, and adaptable. He approached every challenge with preparation and mental toughness. When he faced adversity, whether through injury or personal setbacks, he adapted his game rather than giving up. He demanded excellence not just from himself, but from those around him, raising the standard of every environment he entered. That combination of fear, respect, admiration, and inspiration is what made his aura so powerful, so enduring, and so unforgettable. Even in his final years, Kobe's presence continued to inspire. He engaged in creative projects, mentored young athletes, and shared insights into the mental and physical preparation that made him exceptional. His aura persists not only in highlight reels, but in the countless athletes, coaches, and fans who continue to study his methods and apply his principles. The aura of Kobe Bryant was not ephemeral. It was a living, breathing extension of his work ethic, his philosophy, and the values he embodied. It reminds us that greatness is a combination of talent, preparation, and mindset, and that true impact comes from how consistently and passionately you pursue excellence. Ultimately, Kobe Bryant's aura was a product of everything he was: his determination, his discipline, his intellect, his adaptability, his fearlessness, and his humanity. He was feared because he demanded the best of everyone he faced. He was respected because he held himself to an impossible standard. He became a global icon because his philosophy resonated beyond the hardwood. And he remains an enduring figure because the principles he lived and the energy he brought to every endeavor are universally relatable. Watching Kobe wasn't just watching basketball. It was witnessing a mindset in motion, a relentless pursuit of mastery, and a life dedicated to showing the world what could be achieved through obsession, focus, and love for the craft. His aura lingers in gyms, in hearts, and in minds around the world, a lasting testament to what it means to live with purpose and passion.